Here we are, up close and personal in the leek bed. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to spade these up. These were dug in trenches, or planted in trenches, and so they are fairly on the deep side. So, rock it up. And they're not huge. I do have some larger ones in here, but I think I'm going to harvest from this side down and let those last ones stay until the winter months, and I'll harvest fresh ones there. These aren't bad. That's probably close to an inch. Let's see what else we have here. I know down at this end, I've got a large one here. Let's see. Whew. That's holding on to the soil. There we go. That's a lovely one. Very good. Okay. So whether they're large or they're small, they're still going to be great. The soil is nice and loose. They're pulling out rather nicely. Let's see, there's some large ones right over here. Let's take a peek. There we go, nice size. Very good. Well, here's what I've harvested. And they're not huge. They're not baseball bat size. But I'm pleased. And I'm going to go in and prepare these so I can store them for the winter. I left just three rows at this end of the bed, and so now I can amend my soil, cover it up, get it ready for winter. I'm going to put straw down around these last rows of leeks so they'll get a little bit of a protection against the cold. I'll probably take some of the soil, hill them up a bit in through there, and that'll give them some more freeze protection. There we go. Leeks are all ready for winter. I shoveled up a bunch of the soil that was in this other area, nestled it, covered up their stems probably about at least a good 3 inches. And then I put straw all around the base of the plants. They'll continue to grow throughout the winter very slowly, and even they will make it into the spring, and I can still have fresh leeks in the springtime. But now I've got to go in and wash up my leeks, my whole harvest of leeks here, and preserve them. Okay, stick with me and follow me into the kitchen. Here I am in my not so well tended rock garden. Lots of weeds inundating this summer. I have a few friends over here that are watching me intently, hoping because I have a shovel here that I will dig them up some worms. We'll see. What I am going to do is dig up this clump of chives here. I'll probably leave some of it so it comes back next spring. They're a very hardy perennial here in my zone 5B. And, but I want to take some in the house. So what I'm going to do is fry up a section. Here they are. They are part of the onion family. Here they are here. There's some. They have a little bulbous root area. So let me get that weed out of there because I don't want that coming in the house. Anyway, I have some soil here, potting soil. Not bringing in the garden soil. Knock off, not everything, but a good deal. And I'll push it to one side. I think I want a little bit more. So in this clump I have. Okay, girls, I have a worm for you. Oh, she got it, and away she goes. Okay, so here's another clump. I still have a little bit left. I think I will just leave that in the ground. I have lots of other clumps. Here's another worm. Who wants this? Rosie? Yes, she does. Okay, back to the chives. Okay, here's another little clump. Let me pull out the dead stuff. Anything that looks like it might be a weed. And I'm going to bring this in to the house in a sunny location, and I'll be able to snip it off during the winter for fresh chives. So pack it up around nice and firmly. I will give it a, ooh, squabbles. I will give it a nice drink of water. I'll probably cut some of these long stalks off just so they can recover a little bit from this trauma of digging. Here's what's left. See that? Still quite a bit. Had to pull this hosta back a little bit to see exactly what I had left. This is probably not the most ideal clump of chives to pull out because of its location. Oh, here's one. I wonder if I can save this by pushing it down in. We'll see. Give it a good drink of water, bring it in, sunny location, and I'll be able to harvest a few chives for my baked potatoes in the winter. Here's the first part of the processing of the leeks. I washed them off and washed all that dirt off of their roots. I cut the tops off, left a little bit of the green. It's good. You can eat the entire plant, but some of the leaves were rather ragged, but I cut the tops off, cut the roots off, washed them again, a second rinse. They are still not ready to be processed. I've got to take them in the house and do another rinse on them, and I'll show you that in the next segment. That's all of the leftover, the root and the extra stems. That, of course, will go into the compost pile. Welcome to my kitchen. Here we are. We've got our leeks. I've got all of that I dug up this afternoon. So this is the next stage in cleaning these things. Leeks are very, very dirty. As they grow up, they get all sorts of dirt and debris inside the stalks. Very important to clean it. Even if you get them in the grocery store, in the market, they're still very difficult to clean. So what I do is I'll take my leek and I've cut off the tops. These are very edible all the way up to the green and all the way down to the white stalk part. I cut off the rest of the root, and then I'm left with this. So I'm going to split it all down the middle like this. And then you can see how white it is, split open. But it's still quite dirty up here, if you can see that. All of this is lots of dirt still in there. So what I do, either rinse it off under running water in the sink, or if you just had a pot of water, you can just rinse it in here and do a whole bunch, and then we'll go to the next step. So anyway, now after all of that's done and you're sure that your leeks are clean, here's one that I've pulled out. Now, they are fairly well clean. So dry them off the best that you can. And this is what I do. I will cut them up into a fine, medium chop. All these little halves here. And then, easy as pie, I put them on a cookie sheet. Usually I put parchment down. Spread them out. Single layer. You can break them apart if you want, or leave them kind of in their little half discs. That's fine. I'm going to cut up a few more. Here's another one. Another one that has been soaking. This one I'm going to cut all up, even the green part of the stalk, leaves. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to fill my cookie sheet with all of these little diced leeks, and I'm just going to put them in the freezer. Kind of a flash freeze. I don't parboil them or, dunk them in some boiling water or anything like that. I just go ahead and freeze them. And then once they're flash frozen, to use them, I'll just take out a cup, a half cup, whatever amount. Use it in soups and stews. Even this small, it still works well in a salad, even after it's frozen. Leeks are very mild. I almost like them better than I do onions. So I have some very small ones like this, which I'm just going to put in my refrigerator. What I'll do is I will get a tea towel, almost like a cheesecloth type thing, dampen it, wrap these things up in a damp towel, and then slip them inside a plastic bag and leave them in the refrigerated drawer, the vegetable drawer. And these will last quite a long time, and then I can use them fresh. Of course, I do have a lot still out in the garden, which I can go and pull one up if it's fresh. Anyway, so this is what I do here, and then I'll flash freeze this, then put it in a Ziploc bag that's labeled. Another thing you can do is, after you cut these up, you can dry them in your dehydrator. And you just put them on your trays here and put them in your dehydrator until they are, fully dry. It'll probably be a few hours. One tip I'll give you is do this outside. If you can put your dehydrator outside on a porch or something like that for your 2-3 hours, it's much better, or your entire house will smell for days of leeks. Believe me, I know. So anyway, trays and trays of this, and then you get your leeks back. They're all dried. Store them in a glass, a glass jar. I'm just using a mason jar, and they will last. They still smell fresh. These I made with the leeks from last year's crop that I finally harvested just in I think it was April or May, out in my garden this year. And they're still good. Put them in soups and stews and all sorts of stuff. I love them in my meatloaf, casseroles, anything like that. You know, kind of a dried leek. Works well. So either drying them or freezing them. That is my two methods of processing my leeks. Let me back up a little bit on actually planting leeks in the garden in order to get them to this stage. I plant mine by seed, usually about 4 weeks before my last frost. Usually in a little 4 by 6 type flat. Sprinkle the seeds on some seed starters mix and water them thoroughly, and they do very, very well. So you take them out to your garden after the danger of frost is gone, and you dig a trench, and probably a 4-inch deep trench. Put them in there, pack them in, and as they continue to grow, every few weeks you're going to push soil in. If you have it like this, you're just going to push soil up and up and up and up. This is because you want to blanch the stem. You want this white part of the stem. So sometime in the summer you don't have to do that anymore, and it will just continue to grow, and this part of the stem will be blanched. Another method is to put a hard paper tube around your leek seedling and have it just grow up through there. This will actually really help in stopping all of the dirt from accumulating in your leaves. I've tried that in the past. I just didn't have enough cardboard sleeves or anything, and I like to grow a lot of leeks, almost more leeks than I do onions. But that's a way of blanching the leek. So and so you keep hilling it up, and then you just let them go. And as I said before, the leeks can stay in the garden. They can continue to grow right up until your first frost in the fall, and then hill them up a little bit more, put some straw on it as an insulator, and they can go all winter long, and then even continue to grow again in the summer, or in the early spring. But they will flower, you know, that next year. And so you want to use them up, certainly, you know, before it gets really into summer. They're really not a plant that'll go through 2 entire years of your season. Anyway, just wanted to review planting of leeks, and then there was the harvesting and the processing of what I do to process and preserve my leek harvest. Okay, thank you for joining me, and I will see you in another video. Please, if you enjoyed my video, please like, thumbs up. Please share it if you wish. I would love to get more subscribers. Subscribe. And if you want more notifications on any new videos that I put out, I've been trying to do 1 a week. Sometimes I do 2 a week. It all depends upon how busy. Anyway, thank you for following me, and see you in the next video. Bye.